I collect it, I work with it, and I live with it. But it's obsession, but it's just a different way of living.
It's an understatement to say the least. No, this isn't an antique store. This is Robert McNutt's apartment. And yes, he admits it's become an obsession.
I would call this being a hoarder before it was popular. This nasty little doorknob is from Vancouver City Hall. It's a bad design. It's too small.
The Vancouver resident is an avid collector of all things antique. From coast to coast, he scours construction sites and the internet to find his prized possessions.
I've started collecting, I can think as far back as nursery school, when they were cleaning out the buildings in Halifax, and I saw some kind of an old washing machine with a motor on it. I was determined to have the motor. I was on that pile with tools at the age of 3 or 4, determined to get the motor off of that washing machine.
And since then it's turned into a lifestyle. The memorabilia crammed into every inch of his apartment is as unique as him. He throws crazy hat parties, swears by pen and ink, doesn't own a fridge, and has a landline from 1905.
And with this telephone, this is a loud ring, and a lot of people don't understand old telephones. So when you use a telephone, this is the part that you put your ear, but this is where people miss out, and they're cumbersome to use because you have to actually talk into the item like this, because if you pull away, you can't hear. The other benefit of this is prank phone calls. It changes your voice. It's fantastic for that.
But Robert doesn't actually own the place. He rents, and the first time he started renovating, his landlord got quite a shock.
Her mouth was moving, but I actually got her speechless, and she said later that I was really the only person who actually ever got her speechless.
Since then, they became firm friends. Now Robert's collection has spread beyond his doors to the rest of the building. He's even been granted additional storage for some unique items like his toilet bowls.
I got plain ones, and I have very fancy decorative ones.
This may look like a complete jumble of mess, but for Robert, each item here tells a story. It's a network of history of items from across the country and Vancouver, a city which he says is rapidly losing its identity.
A lot of big, beautiful homes are built, and 20 years later they're demolished. It's like a dog chasing its tail. It's a terrible thing that's happening in Vancouver.
So for now, Robert will hold on to his little bit of history. And as for Mrs. McNutt?
That kitchen is built for one. I know where everything is. I don't like people in my kitchen touching my silver, touching my crystal. Stuff goes in the wrong spot. I don't like this. And I can't imagine having to do this with someone else.
In Vancouver, Tom Walsh, City News.